In this video, I want to talk to you about two responses that are often underestimated. Two responses that are often underestimated. I think sometimes we think that we always have to be very quick to speak. I think we think that we look a certain way if we are quick to say we always have an answer, and it could be dangerous, right? And that is one of the advantages of being an introvert, is that we we don't speak quickly. Typically we are typically silent, we typically observe and listen. And so these are two responses that are often underestimated. The first one is a pause. So I think sometimes if we jump to say something quickly, we often will say the wrong thing. I think a pause is necessary because we can give ourselves a breath. We could take a beat, right? We can say, okay, what do I need to say? What do I really need to say? What did they really say? Did I hear it? Do I understand what they're saying? Do I understand what they mean? Do I understand the context? Do I understand where they were before they got to me? What are they not saying? And so there's just different things to be thinking about when you're going to respond. Sometimes we got to think about, what happened to me before I got to this person. Because if we're emotional, if our personal life is a wreck, if whatever it is, we can receive the information the wrong way. We can misinterpret it. I always say we hear what we want to hear, maybe not necessarily what was said. So think about that for yourself. Would a pause when you're talking to somebody, would it be helpful to you? Would it keep you from putting your foot in your mouth? And so I've learned that this is important. A pause is very important. And then the second response is silence. Sometimes everything that need a response, right? I as a content creator, I get all these different things on my comments, and I get it. We can be cowards sitting behind a computer, talking about other people, saying this and saying that, judging people, and we have no idea what it's like to be on that other side of the computer. And so silence is very important. Sometimes silence just is, you can't say anything because it's not for you to say. It's not the time to say it. You're not in the emotional state to say it. It's just certain things you just can't say. Sometimes you got to take it in and pray about it before you can say it. Sometimes it just doesn't warrant a response. Sometimes no matter what you're going to say, it's not going to be right. They're not going to be able to receive it. So think about this today. Two responses that we often underestimate. The first one is pausing. Just take a beat. Just take, 5 seconds and think about what they're saying and what it is that you really want to convey back. The second thing is silence. We underestimate silence. We think that we always have to have a response. We always got to, get the last word. And it's so immature, right? The mature thing is to say, okay, maybe I will have to get back to you. Thank you for your response. Thank you for, whatever. And then we can just leave it, or we don't have to say anything. We can just leave it as a text message, if it's a comment on a video, whatever it is. We got to think about, is silence the best answer? Because silence is still a response. And so just two things to be thinking about when you're going to respond to somebody does this require a pause? Most of the time we do need to pause before we respond. And the second thing is, does this not require a response at all? So is silence the best answer?